This is the second part of the Verga ranked 1v1. Pretty cool game. And this time we'll look at it from a perspective of Nike boots, and he's going to go up against Yogurt. So again, we're in Verga Pass, a map where you can't see much. And very unusual, you start off with one mass extractor. So the strat that Nike keeps going with, and the one he's going here, is going to be a T1 air factory, some PGens, and you see the only unit he's building at first is the bomber. So the very first unit he makes is going to fly to his opponent's base and try to bomb it. This takes a huge toll on the economy. You'll see he will actually run out of energy completely. Of course, let me speed this up, and you see he paused his commander for a second not to stall his economy. You see this bomber. Spotted an NG. It's got one kill, damaged some power generators. Actually, a nice bombing run. He killed an NG that was expanding down. Himself, he's going after these mass extractors. He sent an NG back to get a piece of mass that wasn't behind of his base. However, he lost that bomber pretty quickly, so he flew over the main base again, where a whole bunch of anti-air was built. He still continued to produce air. It's pretty expensive in terms of power. However, his main problem right now is mass, but he ran his ACU straight to this mass pile to correct this problem, and now power is going to be his problem once again. If you look at his main base, you see he has built quite a bit of power, and he's got planned a bunch of factories. He's fighting off some mech marines that wandered into his base. So you see here what he's doing. He's always got an interceptor flying around looking for things to kill or to spot. It's a great way to do scouting. He also has some radar. He has 5 minutes. He's reclaimed about 2,000 mass, which is pretty good. An early air fight, which is always nice to have an air fight over your own flak. That's exactly what Nike did. And he does have control of air and has pretty big power problems. And in terms of the score and everything, his early gambit with the bomber didn't pay off as much as it should have. He lost it pretty easily. Should have kept on looking out for other things to kill, but he flew over the main base with a lot of anti-air. You can see actually 3 fights going on simultaneously. And you can see his scouts, he's always looking for things. Finally got his power taken care of. You can see he still has a whole bunch that he's planned on building. Now we can see what his ACU. He's got a PD which is getting bombed, and he has seen a pretty large army. However, he's building up his own army pretty well too. Decides to take it on. Now his health is pretty low on his ACU. He should probably take it easy. Maybe a big push from Yogurt could have ended the game right here, but the push came a little late. Now Nike is just running, and now we see Yogurt does have some T2. These mongoose robots are pretty good. You can see around. It's a nice thing that Nike does with his transports. Puts his units wherever he wants them to kill, avoids all his defense. But he's still running away with his ACU. A pretty big force from Yogurt has just came through, and you can now see it on radar. And Yogurt is going to clean out this side base here on the left. Nope, he changed his mind. He's going to run into the main force from Nike, who is still going to be retreating. Maybe a fraction of this force out would have taken out these few mass extractors. Didn't need to send all of his units forward. See T2 air from Nike, which means he's totally going to have complete control of air in this one. And you can see he defended pretty well against this force. It's basically numbers at that point. So Yogurt failing on the bottom has went right. There's absolutely nothing defending this base except a tank and a single gun. And you can see here Nike does have radar coverage while Yogurt has no idea what he's going up against, but builds up courage and moves through and kills the undefended mass extractors. And now he's going to go all the way to Nike Boots base, and here we see Nike has paused all of his production, doesn't really have much for defense at all. There's a few tanks, but he's going T3 with his land factory to try to get the Harbies. He is desperately trying to get some units back. However, what we see from Yogurt, he's just sitting there instead of pushing through exactly the moment when this base was not defended. He sat and waited, and you can see total coverage for Nike in terms of reconnaissance. And now suddenly at the moment when Nike's T1 force reinforcements have come through, he decides to attack. It's really not a very good move, and this will allow Boots to get T3 ground. On the other side we see Nike's ACU supported by some T1 army is pushing forward, but he does see there's a T2 force right next to him, which is a dangerous situation, so he is retreating. He will cause damage to this base, but he needs to save his ACU. Really, ACU all out by itself, surrounded by T2. These 3 T1 tanks won't do much. Now you see Boots actually moving forward, overcharging. It's a T1 ACU, 26 kills, 4,000 health, all alone. Well, some T1. Not much. And there we see Yogurt's ACU is actually chasing Nike down right now. These Harbies that Nike's producing are going to do a lot of damage in this one. We already see 2 of them out in the field. You can see how effective these are. See 10 kills already, 6 kills. Moving in on this base. Really, unless you have a T3 of your own, the Harbies will run straight through you. You can see Nike really doesn't have much of this map anymore except his main base, but he's producing Harbies there. This should have been dead if Yogurt sent a fraction of his force. And now we see 2 more Harbies have been transported in by Nike. So now it's a team of 4, and these ones already have 33 kills and 24 kills. So pretty devastating. We see a force from a T2 force from Yogurt, but it will run into the T2 PD plus the ACU. And it looks like Yogurt's ACU is just wandering out in the middle of the field. So as expected, Harbies, ACUs, and PDs kill a T2 force. These Harbies have finished killing. It's the rest of this base. They all have many kills. kills, 29, 40. So it's cool to see Nike actually pick these up. Drop them off into an undefended position, so it takes a lot more time to walk around. You see these are walking around, these are already killing. It's a great play from Nike on that one. And he's still producing more Harveys. No reason to produce other units. These ones are doing everything you need them to do. Another great thing, you can see all these scouts. So Nike has total coverage, and he just saw this base, saw that it was unprotected. Sends in 2 Harveys. A little bit of weirdness, some strange lag. Now we gotta go back to these Harveys, see what they're doing. So again, some are getting loaded up. Coming around the map. So 2 Harveys getting dropped off in the back of enemy's base. Can't really see much, but they're definitely gonna do good. So 55 kills, 31 kills. Now they'll meet a T2 force. Can't see it because they're all alone. That won't stop them. So now this is the point where Yogurt concedes, and this Harvey itself has 74 kills now. It's basically game over.